Hi folks, so we're here this week with Jenn Glynn, President of Site, and we're going to just jump straight into it. Jenn, thanks for being on the call with us. You've had your fair share of postponements and cancellations, haven't you?
Unfortunately, we're still in that trying to encourage people to postpone, not cancel. But in my years of experience and just dealing with SARS and H1N1 and other global events, I've just never seen such a far-reaching and tremendous impact across the globe for all of us.
So I'm assuming, Jenn, like the rest of us, that you're in lockdown. How are you spending your days?
I'm working with clients and industry partners to help kind of navigate the ever-changing storm. Things are still quite busy. From a discussion about cancellation and postponements, we're really kind of trying to encourage people to postpone, not cancel. I have started working on some future activity for 2021 and beyond, but majority of the time I'm just providing guidance to our team at Meeting Encore and Intuitive and working on site volunteer roles, just to be there for them and for our clients. It's been such a big change and a shock to everybody that I'm spending a lot of time trying to be the voice of calm and storm and someone for people to chat to and reach out to. Of course, we've got our virtual cocktail hours and coffee time because it's so important to keep connected socially. We're also trying to spend some time giving back to others that are struggling as well. Last week, I helped a colleague, Melissa, gather some bed sheets from hotels in order to make masks and gowns for some of the hospitals around here. We're also doing a clothing drive. We obviously can't pick up the work business clothes right now, but every year we do a clothing drive to support Dress for Success. So we're kind of encouraging those people that are spending their time right now cleaning out their closets, like to hold on to them, and we'll be back around in spring or summer to pick up those clothes for people that are looking to apply for jobs and need the clothes. And then personally, for my downtime, I'm starting my plants indoors in hopes that spring will come to Canada soon out here in Ontario, and just spending time virtually with my nephews and other family, and with Dave and Whiskey, trying to catch up on Netflix.
Now, I know, Jenn, you've a bit of legacy in the area of crisis management because you actually lived during the whole SARS event in Toronto. What was that like?
You're right. I think you're calling me old, but we've been through this before in Canada, and specifically Toronto when I worked in the hotel industry, but never did we see this kind of global impact and the speed and extent that this is spreading. And at that time, we never even saw hotels closing down. Our occupancy dropped, but it seemed to pass quicker than the forecast for coronavirus. But we're just trying to keep positive and remembering that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We can see some positivity in Asia already. And, it's just taught me that this too shall pass and we need to remain strong together.
So when you took the reins back in January, feels like about 15 years ago, but back in January, you took the reins of Site as president in Vancouver. And I bet at that time, nothing could possibly have prepared you for what has unfolded in the meantime.
Not in a million years. I'm just so lucky that we had our global conference in January and we were all able to come together and start some of our initiatives. But it really is a privilege to be able to help lead Site through these unprecedented times, to help encourage our board members and our volunteers, and with the support of the board and the Site executive, the foundation, Didier, all of you here. It's really, we're focused on coming up with some creative approaches to the challenges that everyone is facing. We launched Site Strong a couple weeks ago, and as a result of that, I've just had the opportunity to have phone calls and virtual chats and emails of encouragement and able to offer support to people. So it's been a privilege. Really, it's not how I expected it. We're still trying to work in the background on other initiatives to keep us going, the future in Site. But right now, our focus is on our members and doing what we can to support them through different initiatives like the complimentary education that we launched last week.
So I know you wanted to tell us specifically about a new initiative, or an amended version of a new initiative, the Moira Fund. So how's it going to be available to members?
Yeah, so a couple of weeks ago when we launched our special edition of Site Source, we talked about the Compassion Fund, and we've named it the Moira Fund, and we're just launching it more officially today. This is a fund set aside by the board specifically to help members stay in sight. We know it's a difficult decision at this time when we're losing business and a lot of layoffs are happening. So members that are having difficulty can apply for a grant and can have up to 75% of their membership dues covered.
And obviously the Moira Fund, named for our wonderful Moira Hearn, obviously a site legend and a Canadian by adoption, and somebody that played a big part in your life, Jenn.
Absolutely. Moira was a dear friend to many of us in the site community. She supported the starting of Site and worked as a board member. She was integral in Site Canada as well. So it just seemed appropriate for someone that was always compassionate and caring to people that were starting their own businesses or going through difficult times, that we honor her with this legacy as well.
Thanks, Jenn. That's really wonderful. I think it's a great initiative, and looking forward to getting so many of those wonderful members that have been struggling back on board with the Moira Fund. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks. Stay site strong.